Hi everybody, welcome to Stampin' Peace with Mary Knabe. Today I'm going to show you two projects I did for Norah O'Donnell of the CBS This Morning show. My niece Lauren is her producer, and Lauren had ordered some Smitten Mitten tags from me for gifts she was giving to coworkers at CBS. And Norah had seen a photo of them and mentioned to Lauren that she was going to be, or had tried to purchase some tags online and would have to wait 3 weeks to receive them. So Lauren hooked her up with me, and I had the opportunity to make two custom order projects for Norah O'Donnell. So it was kind of fun to do some work for a celebrity and to know that somebody people like Lauren and Norah both appreciate handmade so much. So what I made first of all for her were 60 of these wine bottle tags, okay? And you can see that she wanted hers personalized. So there's no stamping on them. I simply printed them from my computer onto Stampin' Up cardstock. I don't know what kind of printers you all have, but mine is very basic, an HP printer, and it works great stamping, copying to Stampin' Up cardstock. Norah also requested some tags she could use on other gifts. So I made this one. It's a little difficult to see, but it is on the cherry cobbler cardstock. And again, she wanted it personalized, so I printed from my computer onto the Stampin' Up cherry cobbler cardstock from my printer at home, which works fantastic for me. So now let me show you how you can make both of these as well.
Okay, I'm starting by showing you this close-up of the wine bottle tag I made for Norah O'Donnell. As I said earlier, there is no stamping on it because she did want it personalized. I simply typed up the information she wanted on her tag and copied it onto very vanilla cardstock. And I said earlier that I have an HP printer. That's incorrect. I just looked over to my side and it's a Brother brand, but just a simple home copy machine. And I've been able to copy on the Whisper White, the Very Vanilla, Cherry Cobbler, and all sorts of Stampin' Up colors. So I love that our cardstocks work so great with my printer. So this is how it hangs on the bottle, just very simple. And I'm going to show you how you can make one of these also. First of all, I want to let you know the products that I used in this tag, okay? Today, since I won't be printing, I've stamped the Merry Christmas Wishes from the Watercolor Christmas stamp set. This is one that's retiring very soon, so you may want to check that out on my website. It also coordinates with the Watercolor Christmas card kit. That card kit retails for $20 and you can make 20 cards with it. It is on sale at 20% off, which you can also find on my Stampin' Up website. In addition, I've used the layering circle framelits. Okay, the layering circle framelits are sold and in the catalog and online and come with 16 pieces. You get 8 plain circles and 8 scallop circles. And I love that how you can nest them and mix and match the sizes. In addition, I used, I'll show you that I also used one of the circle framelits from our retired set. If you don't have this, no worries. You don't even need to put that extra layer on. It's the black one that I used here. However, if you want to add that extra layer, just copy a circle, a paper plate, anything, a mug. I'm sure you can find lots of things around the house that you can trace and cut out. But I love to hang on to these framelits in all different sizes because they come in very handy. I've also used gold foil sheets, black cardstock, and the metallic gold Very Vanilla ribbon. Okay, so let's get started. I'm going to bring in my Big Shot, and the first thing I'm going to do is cut out the sentiment that I stamped in basic black archival ink. Again, it's from the Watercolor Wishes stamp set, and I'm using one of the circle framelits from the Layering Circles framelit collection. Simply run that through. I pre-stamped because I like to give the ink just a little bit of time to dry, especially when stamping on Very Vanilla and white because of the smoothness of the cardstock. Now I've already pre-cut on the Big Shot my gold foil scallop circle and then a plain basic black circle. And I'm going to put these together. Now, if you know me, you know that I'm pretty particular about finishing touches, and I like seams and things like that to be hidden if they can. So I want to show you on this tag that you cannot see. I use the stapler to attach the hang ribbon, but you can see that that staple is not visible anywhere on the tag. I just think it makes it look, makes things look more professional, more polished. So always try to do that. Think of ways to do that if you can. So what I've done is taken a 10-inch piece of the ribbon. I crisscrossed it at the ends. I'm holding that in place, and I'm going to staple it to the front of my gold scallop circle. Now I'm going to use dimensionals to add my stamped layer. Whoops. Okay, I like to have that centered over the scallops. That looks great. Okay. Now I'm going to attach this onto the basic black circle, and I'm using snail to do that. Now, if you are making a lot, I would suggest that you use the Tombow multi-purpose glue. This is what I used when I was making Norah's, simply because of the quantity of tags I was making. The Tombow glue is just a little bit better price point than the snail adhesive, and it works easily and dries quickly. So when making her 60 tags, I did use the Tombow multi-purpose glue. And finally, I want to finish this off, and you can see when I added that, I've hidden the staple. And I'm simply going to finish this off now by adding a bow. I already pre-tied it. I know you're all busy, especially this time of year, so I like to do some of these steps ahead of time because I know your time is precious. Okay, so there you have it. So here is my wine tag, and you just hold it over like that. So just a nice little touch if you're going to somebody's home for the holidays, perhaps a party, or want to give a hostess gift or something like that. This is a nice way to give a bottle of cheer, but add a personal homemade touch to it. Okay, in addition, now I want to show you a tag that I stepped up just a little bit. I've added another layer. This one is a large circle in the gold foil sheets. I've also added some pearl embellishments, and then I've added this pretty, very fine gold thread. I put that behind the black layer before I added that to the large gold circle. So you can see this one is pretty too. Perhaps this one would be for somebody who likes a little bling or an occasion that's a little more elegant than handing out gifts to neighbors and coworkers. Okay, but I love them both. I hope you do too, and I hope you will give these a try. And a shout out to my niece Lauren and to Norah O'Donnell, who gave me the opportunity to create some wonderful things for them. Okay, so let's talk tags for a moment because I told you I also made 50 gift tags for Norah O'Donnell as well as her 60 wine bottle tags. Now, if you have our Tag Topper Punch, you know that it's a fabulous tool. This is a tag I made using that Tag Topper Punch. Let me do one right now, and you can see just how easy it is. I'm just going to push my designer series paper, and it does cut both designer series paper and cardstock. It gives me this fun edge at the top, plus the hole for pulling a ribbon through. And just because we're talking tags and punches, I also wanted to show you the triple banner punch because I do use this a lot as well. Okay, it just makes a fun banner edge. So really fun punches to use in making tags. However, this is limited because it can only punch strips of cardstock or paper that are 2 inches wide or less. So the tag I made for Norah is larger than that, is wider than the 2 inches. So I did not want to leave it just a plain rectangle, so I had to come up with a way to make a fun edge at the top. Now remember that I printed these off on my home printer, so the dimensions are a little bit funky, 4 inches by 2 5/8, but it's just the way it worked out for centering the wording. But what I did was I found, or I should say I pulled out my lots of labels framelits when I was looking for something to use to make a pretty edge on those plain rectangles. So let me show you how I did that. Here is one of those rectangles, basically just about the same size as the one I cut for Norah. And what I did was I took the largest framelit from the Lots of Label framelit set. I used my magnetic platform. I've got one cutting plate down, and I'm going to put my cardstock on here with the top edge meeting the top of that rectangle, that cherry cobbler rectangle, okay? Now, from there, I just put my top cutting plate on and ran it through. And that's how, oops, didn't mean to throw that. That's how I got that pretty edge to use on Norah's tags. Now, I do want to show you one thing and give you a tip. I'm going to, well, first let me show you a few tags. Okay. I made these tags, okay, using that same idea, okay. And what I did this time, since I was stamping and decorating the tags, not having to worry about printing them out, I've cut my cardstock 4 1/4 inches by 2 3/4 inches. By cutting it that way, 4 1/4 inches by 2 3/4 inches, you will get 8 tags per sheet of cardstock, and you will have absolutely no waste when you are making your tags. So just a little tip to help you with that, because if you're like me, I don't like to waste. I want to get most bang for my buck. Okay, now since these are a little bit longer than the other ones I cut for Norah, you can see that my framelit is actually going over the bottom of that, okay? There are two things you can do about that because I don't want just those little cuts out. I just want the top edge cut pretty and the bottom to be square corners. You can pull that bottom through the framelit like this and run it through your Big Shot. Which I've done here, and you see by pulling the ends of the corners of the cardstock up out of the framelit, I still have those nice clean corners. The other thing you can do is just make sure you don't run, if it's hanging over onto the bottom and you don't want that cut out, just make sure that when you run it through your Big Shot, you only go part way through. You only roll it through until it cuts this, but don't let it cut that bottom half. So let me show you what I mean. So it's going in. Okay, I can hear that it cut that top part, and I can even see the top part of the framelit coming out. Okay, I'm going to go backwards. So I never went over this part. I never rolled this part of the cardstock through the Big Shot. And I get it that way. Okay? So let me set these aside. And I want to give you just a couple more tips about these tags that I've made. Okay? First of all, the products I used are Real Red cardstock and the Garden Green cardstock. The To From stamp is from the Smitten Mittens bundle. That is one of the bundles that is retiring, so you'll want to get that soon if you plan to. And then all of these stamps featured on these tags are from the Merry Little Labels bundle. And that Merry Little Labels bundle includes the stamp set as well as the classic label punch. And you can also buy each of these items separately. They aren't in the holiday catalog. In addition to that, we also have Labels to Love, which covers several different holidays and occasions so that you can use it throughout the year with your classic label punch, also in the holiday catalog. Now, on two of these, you can see I don't have a hole or ribbon. What I've done on these is simply put two dimensionals on. I left the adhesive backing on so that when I'm ready to use them, or if I give them to somebody or I sell them, whoever's using can just peel them off and stick them right to their packages. You don't need to have double stick tape or roll the tape, Scotch tape on your finger. So I love just that added little perk of adding the dimensionals. Now, on the others, I have this beautiful, really sturdy and strong quilted Christmas ribbon. I just love the texture of it and I love the thickness of it. So I've used it an awful lot. Now, here's something I want to show you. You can see I have this little half circle punch here. Okay, let me show you how I did that. Okay, this is the piece I cut earlier on my Big Shot, and this is a brand new punch. It is one of 4 that coordinates with the Tutti Frutti product suite in our occasions catalog that will go live on January 2nd. So the Tutti Frutti bundle includes a stamp set, but also 4 bitty punches for the 4 fruits that are included. So this would be a watermelon, or it could be an apple or orange slice. It also has a strawberry, a pineapple, and I can't remember the 4th one, so it'll be a surprise for you. If you are a regular customer of mine, or if you made a purchase or online order from me during in the last Stampin' Up year, then I have mailed you a occasions catalog and a celebration brochure, both of which start January 2nd. So you may have already seen this punch. If you don't have those and you're not a regular customer of mine, I'm happy to send those catalogs to you. You just need to private message me that you would like them and provide your mailing address as well as your email address for me. Okay. But, anyways, this is that little tiny watermelon slice punch from the Tutti Frutti set that's coming out soon. I flipped it over and I'm just going to cut my hole, my little notch right there. I'm centering it here on my cardstock. And there you have it. So what a great use for this new punch. I'm so excited. Um, I love when our products can be used way beyond the original intention of them. It's just nice to get a little more use and a little more variety of ways to use our Stampin' Up! Products. And as a final tip, I want to tell you that the felt, what are we calling them? The stitched felt embellishments, they come in a package of 12. You get 4 trees, 4 stars, and 4 holly and berries. These are retiring, so you'll want to get them. I absolutely love them. I've used them lots and lots. My tip for using them is that when you adhere them, you want to use our Tombow multi-purpose glue, put a dot on and set it on the back and set your piece down, and then you'll need to let it dry very thoroughly. If you're in a hurry, this probably is not going to work. If you want quicker drying time, you'll want to use your hot glue gun. So those are some tips I have. These two, I punch the hole and put the ribbon on for tying on a gift bag or whatever. And the other two, I've got dimensionals on the back. So I hope you've enjoyed both of these projects. It's always an honor for me to share what I love doing best with all of you.